Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss the general characteristics of phylum Annelida and representative examples from phylum Annelida. In last class we have discussed up to the phylum Aschelminthes. Now we'll start with the next phylum, that is Annelida, and these annelids are mostly aquatic, marine or freshwater, lives in burrow, that is burrowing or living in tubes, and some are free living forms. These annelids are triploblastic, symmetrical, body is elongated and worm-like, that is vermiform. Body is metamerically segmented into number of divisions called metamere or somites. The body wall is contractile in Annelida and consists of an outer epidermis, circular and longitudinal muscles. Then in Annelida, the locomotory organs are segmentally arranged, paired city or chiti. These city or chiti, they are meant for the locomotion. The alimentary canal is a tube-like straight and that runs from mouth and ends to the anus. The respiration in Annelida occurs through the general body surface and in some annelids by gills. The blood vascular system in this annelida is a closed type. The excretion in these organisms is by paired segmental nephridia. The nervous system consists of brain and segmental ganglia connected by ventral nerve cord. The sexes may be united or separated. The development in these annelida may be direct or indirect by the larval stage or larval phase. Then the classification of phylum Annelida. This phylum Annelida is divided into three classes. One is Polychaeta, another one is Oligochaeta, and the third one is a Hirudinea. We have to study the three examples from Polychaeta. These three examples from the two orders, that is, one is Erantia and another one is a Sedentaria. The Aphrodite and Nereis, these belongs to the order Erancia, and the Chitopterus belong to the order, that is a Sedentaria. The one example from the Oligochaeta, that order Archaeoligochaeta, and example is the Tubifex. And we have to study the one example from the order, that class Hirudinea. Order is the Gnathodontelida and example is the Hirudinaria. Then the first example, that is a Aphrodite. This is Aphrodite. It is commonly called as a sea mouse. And students, you have to draw this diagram A. This is the dorsal view of the animal. You are not supposed to draw this ventral view. You have to draw this diagram. The this Aphrodite, it is commonly called as sea mouse, and it's classified as a phylum Annelida, class Polychaeta, order Erantia, and the genus is the Aphrodite. This Aphrodite, that is commonly called as sea mouse, and it measures about 7.5 to 12.5 centimeter in length and made up of 30 to 35 body segments. In Aphrodite, the body is short and broad, oval in shape and dorsoventrally flattened. It having the stiff CT for locomotion and iridescent bristles are present on the dorsal surface. These are the iridescent bristles and the stiff CT or the cheat. Then the head is small, situated anteriorly beneath the dorsal left and bears a single small median tentacle. It having the single small median tentacle which having the what that is the palps and the two large lateral palps. The intestine has long branching segmental ceca which digest the minute food particles. The anus is situated at the posterior extremity on the dorsal surface of the body of the Aphrodite. So these are the characteristics of Aphrodite, and this is the diagram. It having the what? The stiff CT or the GT and the iridescent bristles. At the terminal end it having the what that is anus. It head having the what that is a median. But these are the that is a pair of the pal. Then the next example is the Nereis. It is commonly called as a ragworm or the clamworm. This is the ragworm or the clamworm, and if you observe this Nereis, it having the this parapodia on the entire surface of the body. And how it is classified? The phylum Annelida, class Polychaeta, order is the Erantia, and the genus is the Nereis. If you observe the body of the Nere students, you have to draw this diagram only. You are not supposed to draw any other diagram. You have to draw this diagram and write down the classification of this. Then this is the picture of the what the Nereis and how it looks. These are the parapedia and the what these are the what head region or the anterior most region and body is segmentally or metamerically divided. This is again the same picture and this is the how the body looks. If you observe the polychaeta, it having the anterior end at the mouth, it having the jaws. Then it having the prostomial tentacles. Then palps. This is the prostomium and the behind to this prostomium there is a peristomium. Okay, so and these having the two pairs of the eyes. Now we'll discuss the characteristic features of this polychaeta. And at the end, if you observe it having the what? The serous, then opening that is the anus, and these are the parapodia and the pygidium. All these are the structures which are present in the what? The Nereis. Now we'll discuss the characteristics of Nereis. It is commonly called as ragworm or clamworm. Body is long, slender, and dorsoventrally flattened, reaching a length of 5 to 30 centimeters. And body consists of distinct head followed by number of similar segments. As earlier we have discussed the head having the two parts. Anterior part is called as a prostomium and the posterior ring-like portion it is called as a peristomium. And what this prostomium bears? It bears a pair of terminal tentacles and pair of prostomial palps. The peristomium has two pairs of peristomial tentacle and two pairs of eyes and a mouth. The last or anal segment is known as the anal cirri. Each body segment bears a pair of parapodia which are locomotory in function. And in Nereis, the male and females are separate, that is, sexes are separate. So these are the characteristic features of the Nereis. This is the diagram of the Nereis that we have to draw. Then this is the diagram which showing the terminal portion that is the serous and the anus and the anterior most part. It having the two parts. One is a peristomium and that is, and another one is what, the prostomium. Prostomium having the prostomial tentacle and the palp, and the peristomium, it bears a pair of eyes and a pair of the tentacles or the cirri, and the locomotory organs are the parapodia. Then the next animal is the Chitopterus. It is commonly called as a paddle worm. How it looks, this is like this is a how Chitopterus, and the animal Chitopterus, it is divided into the what, how it is classified: phylum Annelida, class Polychaeta, order is a Sedentaria, and the genus is the Chitopterus. If you observe the body of the Chitopterus, you can observe the what, that is a this peristomium and the prostomium. This is a peristomial collar. Then after that you can observe these great wings. Then the food scoop of the 10th notopodia. Then the middle region having the fans, and all other the portion occupied by the parapodia. So we'll discuss now the what are the characteristics of the Chitopterus. It is commonly called as a paddle worm and usually 15 to 35 centimeter in length. The body is divisible into three regions or parts: the anterior part, middle portion, and the posterior region. The anterior region is flat and bears 9 pairs of the parapodia. This anterior region bearing the how many parapodia? That is a 9 parapodia, or the 9 pairs of the parapodia. The prostomium is small and the peristomium is funnel shaped with a pair of cirri. Then the middle region having the 5 segment. The first anterior most is modified into these great wings. This is the middle, the first the segment, it is modified into the what, that is the great wings. The next segment bears a pair of suckers, and the remaining pairs it possesses the fans. The next pair it is modified into the what, that is a sucker, and the remaining that possesses the what, that is a, these are the fans. These are the suckers and these are the fans. Then the posterior region has 30 segments, and these are without the setae, and it this Chitopterus is a filter feeder animal. So these are the characteristics of the Chitopterus. You have to draw this diagram of the Chitopterus. This is the anterior most part. The prostomium is very small. Peristomium is larger and having the peristomial collar, and anterior portion having the 9 segments. Then middle part having the 5 segment. Out of that, the first one is great wing, second one is a sucker, and these are the fans, and the last portion having the parapodia, and that is the terminal or the posterior portion in the Chitopterus. Then next animal, that is a what, the Tubifex. This is the Tubifex. How this animal is classified into phylum Annelida, class Oligochaeta, order is the Archaeoligochaeta, and the genus is the Tubifex. This is a very small animal and slender worm measuring about 4 centimeter in length and reddish in color. Each body segment bears a bundle of setae. Means in every segment it having the what, the locomotory organ, and these are called as the what, the setae. The clitellum is formed in 11th and 12th segment, and this clitellum bears reproductive organs or the reproductive structures. Then the contractile heart is found in 8th segment. The male genital pore is in the 11th segment and female genital pore in the 12th segment. Means on 11th and 12th segment there is a clitellum which bears a male and the female genital opening. On 11th segment it having the male genital opening, and on the 12th segment it having the female genital opening. No asexual reproduction occurs in Tubifex. and sexual reproduction is very common. And as both the sex organs are present in a single individual, this is a hermaphrodite. So these are the characteristics of the tubifex, and this is the classification of the tubifex. And last one is that the hirudinaria. It is nothing but a what? The cattle leech, which is present on the body of the leech. This is a leech. Students, you have to draw this diagram. You can draw either this or this. Okay, out of these two diagrams, you can draw any one diagram. Okay, and this is for only understanding. This Hirudinaria, the phylum is the Annelida, class is the Hirudinea, order is Agnathodelida, and the genus is a Hirudinaria. It is nothing but a leech. If you observe the body of the leech, it having the anterior sucker and the posterior sucker, and in between these, the what? These are the body segments. And how many? These 26 segments are body segments, and after that again the up to the 33 segment is posterior sucker having the segments. So now we'll discuss the characteristics of this. This Hirudinaria granulosa is commonly called as Indian cattle leech. Body is elongated, dorsoventrally flattened, and measuring 30 to 35 centimeter in length, with dorsal surface green and ventral surface orange yellow in color. On dorsal surface, it looks like a what, that is a greenish in appearance, and on the ventral surface, it is a orange in color or the orange yellow in color. Body is metamerically divided into 33 segments or somites. The anterior sucker is oval and ventral, bearing triradiate mouth. The at anterior sucker, it having the what, on the ventral side, it having the triradiate mouth. And the it is formed by fusion of prostomium and other few anterior segments. The posterior sucker is circular and forms a highly muscular disc, and it also serves as a powerful organ of adhesion and locomotion. Elementary canal is a straight tube. Anus is mid-dorsal, situated on the 25th segment. Nephridia are 17 pairs, which are segmentally arranged from 6 to 22nd segment on the ventral surface. This leech having the both the sex organ in a single animal, that is the hermaphrodites, and sexual reproduction in Hirudinaria or leech is very common. So you have to write down these characteristics, and you have to draw any one of the diagram from these two and write down the classification, that is a phylum Annelida, class Hirudinea, order is a Gnathodelida, and the genus is the Hirudinea. Thank you.